Geminis. I love you guys, Geminis. One of my beloved brothers is a Gemini, and my twin flame is a Gemini. I'm a Gemini rising. I like this energy. Two of my most favorite people in the world are Geminis, and I do have Gemini energy as well. So yeah, I like this energy. What would be a perfect match for Gemini? And I have to repeat what I say in every video, because honestly, every sign could be a perfect match. If you've read somewhere, I don't know, my person is da 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 da, and they're not a good match for Gemini, please discard that, because you have to analyze the entire birth chart. Okay, let's say, I don't know, let's say Scorpio. Let's say your person is a Scorpion. You've read Gemini and Scorpio, they don't really go together. You may not know everything about your birth chart. Maybe you are a Gemini sun but a Scorpio moon, and then it would be a good match. Or you have your sun in Gemini but in the 8th house, which would be the Scorpio house. And I'm just using Scorpio as an example. You can use this for any other sign. Or your person may be a Scorpio sun, but they may be a Gemini moon or Gemini rising, or they have their sun in the 3rd house, which is the Gemini house. So that could still be a good match. Okay, you need to have all of the information. One sign like the sun sign is not enough to determine whether it's a good match or not. Okay, so a soulmate again could be any sign. And what you often find in soulmate connections, and I just implied it, is that if you are a Gemini sun, then it's very likely that the other person, your soulmate, would be either a Gemini moon or Gemini rising, or they are, let's use Scorpio again for example, and you're a Gemini sun, but you might be a Scorpio rising or Scorpio moon. So at least one of the aspects, like sun, moon, rising, that one person has will be found in the other person's birth chart, like sun, moon, rising as well. That is very common, very common, most likely. But again, even if that is not the case, don't fret, because you may have some other amazing connections in your synastry. And synastry is putting two birth charts, yours and your person's, together, and you see what aspects the planets form. You may have an amazing aspects between one person's Saturn, which is a planet of commitment, and the other person's Venus, for example, and that can stand for long-lasting commitment. You may have some amazing stuff going on in your birth charts, and so it's very important for me to know that a soulmate can be any sign. So please don't ever say no to someone you like just because you think, oh, it's not a match. Okay, don't ever do that, please. But we are talking about the archetypes. So again, to say if something is a good fit for you, you would have to analyze the whole thing. But right now we're just talking about the Gemini archetype and what would be the best fit for the Gemini archetype. When we're talking about soul twins, for example, then it would be another Gemini, because soul twins often have a lot of the same energy. And it would not be, a soul twin would not just have the same sun sign, there would be like the same moon sign as well. There would be a lot of sameness. Okay, you cannot just pick one and say it's a soul twin, because a soul twin will have very similar energy to you. A soul twin can be a divine counterpart because you get along, you get each other because you're so much alike. However, it can be very triggering if you're not very evolved, because then you will mirror all of your shadow sides to one another. So another Gemini might drive you crazy. But also, if you are evolved, then it might be very peaceful because you get each other if you have a lot in common. So a soul twin, again, can be a divine counterpart, depends on where you are, and a soul twin would be someone who shares the same energy, in this case Gemini energy. Sorry, I said soul twin, I meant mirror soul, a mirror soul, someone who mirrors you. Now we're talking about soul twin. A soul twin energy for Gemini would be the other earth sign, air signs. The other air signs are Libra or Aquarius, because you would share the same energy. And we do have here this it's supposed to be a triangle. I know it's not the best, I'm not an artist, but the line through is representative of the air sign. So another air sign would share this energy with you, so you already bring something to the table that is very similar. air. You know, it's a very cerebral sign. You both have the mental capabilities. However, they all bring something else to the table. You know, Gemini energy is very interested in everything. They know a lot about, or a little about a lot, you could say. They're very curious. Aquarius energy is the higher jiva, you could say. It's the genius energy. It's connected to the crown chakra. So they have a different kind of knowledge. They're more focused on what they like, and they know a lot about that. And Libra energy, Libra is more focused on other people. So they probably know the most gossip, or they know stuff to say about what's going on around them. And you know, like social. Gemini are very social as well, of course. Geminis are social butterflies. So you share this same like air connection, but still different, which means you can transform, because too much sameness can be can bring stagnation. So people who are on soul twin, I don't want to say journeys, but if you have a lot alike, then you can trigger each other like crazy, and then you can ascend, of course. But if you attract someone and you are very much in your inner peace, then it's very peaceful connection. There's not a lot of growth going on, which is okay, because not every soul came down here for that experience. However, if you attract another air sign, again, that would be Libra or Aquarius, then you have sameness. However, there is something else coming in, because they are somewhat different, and they can enhance your life. It can bring more to the table than just Gemini energy, because we always want to bring more. But again, it depends on what you want. These connections, soul twin connections, are, since they're very similar to begin with, very peaceful. And the air signs, they form trines. You know, there's a trine in astrology is if something is approximately 120 degrees apart from your point, you know. So a trine is the most harmonious, most flowing energy in astrology. So there is very, very harmonious, very flowing energy. They naturally get each other. There's good conversations. They somewhat think alike, because they are both air signs. And you can grow in these connections, definitely, but they're usually very harmonious. So it's usually not the difficult experience or toxic experience like it is in a split twin flame, or a monadic twin flame will have to have all of that behind them as well. I'm not saying that you cannot have a toxic connection with another like air sign. It always, again, we're just talking about one thing. You may have some nasty stuff when it comes to the other planets, okay? But we're talking about the archetype, and the archetype of Gemini would get very well along with the other air signs. And if you have a lot of trines between you and your other person's chart, then that may highlight a soul twin connection. When we talk about split twins, that would be this line. It would be a fire sign. And the split twin of Gemini is ruling the 3rd house, and the opposite house, the 9th house, the complete opposite, is a fire sign, and that would be Sagittarius. So Gemini and Sagittarius can be either no match at all, or the perfect match. There's like no in between, or not much in between. Again, we have to check the entire chart. The thing is, if you attract somebody who is your polar opposite, then they have the stuff you don't have, and you have the stuff that they don't have, and you could either be too different that you cannot make it work, because you're I don't know, you don't get each other at all. And I recorded a video about different same and opposing energies. You can check that out, where I was talking about a guy. I'm a Pisces, and I'm a Virgo, and I don't get Pisces energy because it was too different, and we don't have anything in common. So when Gemini and Sagittarius meet, it could be too different. They completely don't get each other because it's the opposing energy. Or, and that would be the case in split twins, they have something in common. So if, for example, it could be you are a Gemini sun and they're Sagittarius sun, but you both have the sun in the same house, or you both have the same moon sign, or you have the same rising sign. There needs to be some kind of sameness in order to balance the opposition, and then it can be a beautiful thing. It can be your perfect match. Like when you meet your split twin, it is your perfect match, because they bring to the table what you don't have, so you can enhance each other's energy greatly. But again, to make it work, you need to have some common ground, otherwise it's just too different. But again, a split twin flame will have something common and they will have opposites, and that is how you would recognize that, the oppositions and at the same time the sameness. So again, for Gemini, that would be Sagittarius. Sagittarius could be an amazing match. If you find common ground, then it would be a perfect match. The other perfect match, and now we talk about monadic twin flame energy, would be down here. You see we got the counterpart energy would be air and earth, and for Gemini that would be Virgo. And why Virgo? Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Gemini is a masculine sign, as you can see. It's going up, and the phallic symbol, the masculines are going up, and the water and earth sign are the feminine symbols. We see the triangle, which can represent the female crotch, and here we have it going up, the phallic symbol. And yeah, for Gemini it would be Virgo, because both are ruled by Mercury, and Gemini as the masculine sign is the yang, the masculine aspect of Virgo, of Mercury, and Virgo would represent the feminine aspect of Mercury. And as I said before, to make something work, it's not always good if you are too much alike, because that doesn't really bring growth. A soul twin connection brings growth, but in a very harmonious way. It's not the toxic, difficult, hard way, because souls who came down here to have a soul twin as a counterpart, of course they want to involve, but they don't want that drama. They want to have a very peaceful relationship. That's what they came down here. Split twins and monadic twin flames, of course, after they did their shadow work, will have this very peaceful relationship as well. But a split twin comes down here to go through the shadow work and the drama, to clear that and to evolve, to rise from the ashes, you could say. And even more so, a monadic twin flame that will have probably had like a split twin flame experience before, and has already cleared all that trauma in order to attract the perfect match. So the split twin is the opposite, but again they must have something in common, and during the experience they will find more common ground, and then they can balance that. Whereas Virgo and Gemini, they have the sameness from the beginning, because they share that very mercurial connection. You know, Mercury is the mind, it's the communication. So both signs naturally are very communicative, and they are naturally both very strong thinkers. You know, I think the saying for Gemini is I think, and for Virgo it is I analyze. So they share this common ground of being very smart, usually, of being thinkers. However, it is the yin yang energy. It is very different in that aspect. So they would make perfect counterparts, Virgo and Gemini, because again, Virgo and Gemini naturally share that same but different energy through that Mercury connection. It's the same energy, yet the other aspect of the sameness. Whereas split twin flames, they are opposites, and they have to have something else in common, you know, like an outside force, another planet, something else in common to get that common ground. Whereas again, soul twins, they share the same elements, and that would be a perfect fit for them as well. So yeah, to sum it up, for Gemini, a perfect sign, a soulmate can be any sign, any sign. Okay, don't get discouraged if you think your person is not the perfect fit. It could be any sign. You need to have all of the information. Very harmonious connections would be with the other air signs, which would be Aquarius and Libra, you will have the most growth, maybe with a split twin connection, which would be the opposite, Sagittarius and Gemini. And then your perfect counterpart, like in monadic twin flame, where you have sameness and are yet different, would be Virgo. But again, you have to have the entire chart. Just because you're Gemini and Virgo does not mean you're monadic twin flames. You will have a lot of other stuff in your chart. You have to see the entire chart to determine something like that. We're just talking about one aspect, okay? Very important. Again, you can check out my other videos where I go more into depth about that, or the celebrity couple videos where you see me actually doing what I'm talking about, analyzing it and explaining more about this. And I do have other astrology videos. Check those out. Check out my manifestation or my coaching videos, and please leave your like, leave your comments. I'm very interested in knowing what you think, and like, subscribe, help me grow my channel. I am available for your own analysis of you and your counterparts connection, and I am available for coaching. And till then, I wish you all the best.